No one likes it when rent goes up, except your landlord. So why does rent have to go up at all? I'm Dan the Doorway Doctor. I'm a urologic surgeon and real estate investor, so let me take a stab at this. The thing is that rent is very similar to the money that you pay your doctor when you go in for a doctor visit. So maybe you pay $100 or $200 to see your doctor, and you might rightly think, wow, that's a lot of money to see my doctor, and I only get 5 or 10 minutes with them. What's the deal? But the thing is, very little of that money is actually going to your doctor's checking account. In fact, if your doctor's in private practice, it's often the case that up to 70% of that could be just going to overhead. It's paying for electricity, it's paying for rent, it's paying for the computers, the nurses, and everyone that you see when you go to the doctor's office. It's the exact same thing for rent, because when you pay for rent, about maybe 50% or 60% could also be going to things that are considered overhead in real estate. What is that? It's things like property insurance, property taxes, and maintenance. It's all the factors and costs that you don't have to worry about as a renter. And here's the thing about all of those factors, they tend to go up from year to year as well. So if you're living in a place and your rent is actually just stable, it doesn't change over the course of 5 or 10 years, that means that something's going wrong in this equation. Maybe the landlord is just given up and they're not really maintaining the property, and that's the way that they're keeping rent stable. The end result of that situation, of a stagnating property, is that usually things just kind of degrade to the point where the landlord just gives up and sells it. At that point, a real estate investor may come in, buy it, and renovate the properties, bring them up to market level, and then rent them for a fair price. So that's usually the reason why your rent is going up from year to year. It's just because the cost associated with providing you housing is going up as well. And of course, this doesn't go for everyone. There are bad doctors out there are bad real estate investors out there, so sometimes they're attempting to do things that are not warranted. But I would say in the vast majority of cases, if you notice your rent going up, it's probably just because of things like inflation and supply and demand. I'm Dan the Doorway Doctor. I'm a urologic surgeon, real estate investor, and founder of Serious Real Estate. Follow for more.